Hello, this is Top Preps Player Interviews by Sunil, Sunder. Tonight, I'm happy to be speaking with Halley, a senior at Basic High School in Henderson, Nevada, a shortstop and second baseman on the varsity softball team, and Little Rebels Gordy/TC 18U team. And most importantly, the winner of the 2023 Top Preps Thanksgiving Day Player Interview. Once again, Halley, great to be speaking with you, and congrats on your success playing softball.
Thank you.
So let's talk about 2023. It's been, I said, an amazing year for you. I said not only at Basic High School, but also again playing travel softball here, club softball. I know that when you look back on it, what comes to your mind? First and foremost here, Halley.
I just think it just keeps me busy, like playing all these sports and everything. It's like it's my personality pretty much. Like it creates who I am, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. Again, earning, said accolades here, first and second team all conference along the way. To see your hard work pay off, because there's so much time that goes into in terms of preparing for a season. When you receive those accomplishments, I'm sure personally it is very satisfying to see, your peers, your coaches, said acknowledging, again, your hard work and just, what you can do on the field.
Yeah, it's just I expect success, so it's just relief. It's a relief when I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's great. And I said, before you came on the air, I was just marveling at just, again, the sports that you play, three sport athlete, 4-year varsity, you play club softball, you played soccer. I said, named team MVP this year in sophomore year, with varsity soccer, named goalkeeper of the year and all-state named to that. That is just, again, phenomenal. The fact that you're able to balance out multiple sports, but when you look back, it said here, let's go to soccer, specifically talk about that. I'm sure, again, keeping you in shape and just the fact that all these sports are so intangible in terms of the skill set. Talk about, again, your soccer year here.
Soccer's not my main sport, but so I just like to have fun with it. And so the season I was really just like it wasn't like a big deal, but I was still trying my best and it got me to good places. So I don't know, it was really just like a good community and like the team was really good. I don't know, it stood me up.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Hey, named goalkeeper of the year in all state. I don't think it gets any better than that. So, I mean, that again, that had to be very satisfying. Again, to see, again, just in terms of dominating on, said the soccer field, and again, that leading to those awards. What did that mean to you? I mean, goalkeeper of the year. That's top of the line right there.
Yeah. I expected it just because like all state and everything. So I feel like it was like just gonna come natural with it. But it felt good to know like I was getting recognized for everything I was doing and all the hard work I put in.
That's great. That's great. And you also play flag football. It said for Basic High School, named MVP the last 2 years, selected to the All-Star team. So again, that's just as I said, another sport to add to your list here. What did it mean? It said to play flag football here, especially for the high school. But that's something again, just in terms of building up on your repertoire here. Just talk about that.
Yeah. I wasn't actually expected to play flag football, but I started here and we had a good season. Me and my number one receiver got put in the record books. So I more seriously after that.
Yeah.
And like teams knew about me. So it felt good to like get a reputation from something that I've never done before.
Yeah, no, that's outstanding. I mean, the fact that you're willing to dive into other sports and like, said, face the task on, head on. Let's pivot back to softball. Ranked 178 by extra innings. I wanted to ask you just in terms of your approach at the plate, but also playing shortstop and second base, working on your swing and your mechanics. Obviously, you can hit for power. We've seen that in the highlight videos, with the home runs. But the fact that you can hit, to any part of the field. But when you're up there at the plate and you're facing the opposing pitcher, I'm just wondering what filters through your mind. And then just, I know that practice, pays off. But what is it about, when you're up at the plate and locked in there, Halley?
Basically what I'm thinking is like a lot of people like to take first pitch strike, but I like to jump on it quick so I don't fall
Okay.
behind. So I'm just looking for that first pitch because if it's good, it's probably the best pitch I'm gonna see in the count. If I get behind, they
Hmm.
start some questionable pitches. So
Yeah.
I try quick and just make solid contact. I work on being a live drive hitter.
That's terrific. Okay, I have to ask you about one of those home runs. You hit it, I think, off the top of the scoreboard. So let's walk me through that moment. Like I said, in terms of that at bat per se, and then when you connected on that pitch and you saw it, said travel, quite a distance there.
That whole weekend I was struggling with like a 2-0 count. I kept watching the strike go by. So
Hmm.
that at bat really like I was looking for that pitch. I was looking it down and in and I was like, if it's there, I'm swinging at it. And
Yeah.
it felt good off the bat. I knew it was gone and then I heard it hit the scoreboard and it blew the top of it. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
crazy. First seen that.
What does
Yeah.
it mean to round the bases and then to have your teammates, greet you at home plate and just pat you on the back and just celebrate? I mean that when I see that, it just brings a huge smile on my face to see that team chemistry, just see that bond that you formed with your team. But what is that experience like, just for you?
It's definitely a good moment, and, like, every time it happens, like, you know what you're expecting, like, you know everyone's proud of you for it. So
Hmm.
it's a good moment, and you're just proud of yourself when it happens.
Yeah, that's wonderful to hear. And hey, you've played in these showcases, traveled to different states and venues. I'm sure those are memorable moments and you'll
Yeah,
cherish that forever. Describe that, because again, it's a unique thing that to be a part of a travel team, club and team as well.
yeah, I played for a lot of different teams, and, like, whenever we go to new places, it's like you play teams that are well known because they're good teams, and it's like it's a
Hmm.
good competition, and I enjoy the competition part of it. So I like to see like how we perform against certain teams, or like how we're doing if we get down, or like if
Hmm.
it's a style showcase. Like I like the bracket play part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I think the competition brings the best out of everyone, and just to see where you guys stack up against other teams from different states. I'm sure that that's again something that you take stock of. As I mentioned before, there's so much that goes into training for a softball season: strength and conditioning, nutrition. I mean, everybody talks about the physical aspect of sports, but I think people don't understand mentally. You also have to be in tune. What has worked for you over the years, to allow you to have this ability to perform at such an elite level here, Hallie.
I like to be like a fundamental player. So like whenever I'm
Hmm.
struggling or the slump, I just go back to the fundamentals. Like I keep my mind straight, so it's not like making it worse. And I just
Hmm.
go back to what started me, and I just work up from there.
Okay. Any pregame superstitions or anything that you like to implement?
I have to put my right cleat on first, and I don't.
Okay. That's
And that's
great. That sounds good. That's good. Hey, let's talk about game day and practices. You have two different jersey numbers. Number 12 for the Wolves, basic high school, and number 2 for Little Rebels, Gordy/TC18U. When every time you put that jersey on for both teams, what does that represent to you personally, Hallie?
I think it just represents like a lot of people know who I am just because I've been around
Mhm.
the game for so long, and so I feel like like they see that it's number 2 for Low Rebels. Like I have to
Yeah.
perform, show up to my standards. Like I can't just slack off from it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, let's talk about playing. the infield positions, second base and shortstop, because there's so much that goes on there in terms
Yeah.
of communication with the infielders, with the pitcher, with the catcher, in terms of a ground ball, a bunt, you know, someone trying to, said steal a base. Uh, there's a lot of fundamentals and skills in terms of like, the techniques there. Just talk about again alternating between both positions here, Hallie.
I just I like to keep it like I do my check downs before every pitch to make sure like I know where I'm going with the ball if it
Hmm.
hits me, doing if there's a runner stealing, or I know
Hmm.
where at each time. Like if there's a bunt, I know where I'm going. Like I do a check down before every single pitch, just so I'm in
Okay.
the right. Because the worst thing you can do is be like you're supposed to be somewhere and you're not there.
Yeah.
So I'm like locked into the game. I know where I'm supposed to go. Like it's not gonna be my fault if something is messed up. That's how I like to
Yeah.
think of.
Yeah, and I don't want to forget also pop-ups, fly outs, fly balls. Those, I mean, because again, and then having the communication level with your outfielders as well. That's just as essential there. Can you just speak to that as well, Hallie?
I like to think if it's in the infield, it's mine. But if I
Okay.
can get out, if they're not calling me off, it's also mine. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Good point. Good point. Hey, let's talk about back to basic high school. Just those home games as well as away games. Uh, again, those are um, experiences, moments that I'm sure heading into your senior year, like you really like you look back and see where you started from, and now come almost full circle. What is it about those games that really like that stick with you, and just like I'm sure that you really like again want to remember for for a long time.
Yeah, I think like when I was an underclassman, it started with like making sure I can impress the upperclassmen, like make sure I do
Yeah.
good. But senior, and I'm like leader of the
Hmm.
team, I have to try to inspire the underclassmen and
Hmm.
like make sure they know like they can like I can help them if they need it, or
Yeah.
like they're like they don't have anything to worry about type of thing.
Yeah. Now you're at that point now, at that juncture now, where you can pass down your knowledge and experience to the underclassmen. I'm wondering, like your first time, said putting these jerseys on, and like whether it was for uh, the basic high school, or said Little Rebels Gordy slash TC18U. If you recall that, it just what was again flowing through your mind, it said playing for these teams.
Well, I just recently joined my club team, so like
Okay, okay.
the first time I started playing with them, I was
Mhm,
like wanted to make a good impression. Like
mhm.
I it's gonna like me and know that I can play and I can compete with their level.
Yeah,
So that with that. But high school, um, I was just I had a starting spot my freshman year and I didn't want to like lose it right away.
yeah,
So I was trying my best to like keep my spot and make sure I'm doing my job.
yeah. That's great to hear. In terms of basic high school support from the student body, administration, athletics, because I feel like the structure is so important to a team. If you don't
Yeah.
have that in place, it can really fall apart and just like go sideways. What has that meant to you over these last 4 years here?
I think it means a lot when there's like support behind your sport. I
Hmm.
mean, there's definitely more with like boys sports, but it's growing with girls sports. So I think it's
Yeah.
like it's important for sure because if we feel like our sport's not worried about, not cared about, then it's whatever to us. But if we know like people are like caring about it, then we want to try harder to make it like so more people care about it.
Yeah, excellent point you made. And it's just not being an athlete, it's being a student athlete. You've been able to excel in the classroom. Unweighted GPA of 3.5, weighted GPA is a 4.1. The majority of your classes are honors and dual enrollment. Very impressive. I mean, again, exemplary, just in terms of your time management and organization. What is it, just that has worked so effectively for you, Hallie? Because again, not everybody is cut out for to be a student athlete. It takes a lot of dedication, commitment to it. I'm just wondering, what is have you know skills have you been able to utilize? What has just been the perfect blueprint for you?
I feel like we have a lot of free time in classes, and a lot of people just go on their phones and like don't use that time. So I usually get my work
Hmm.
done, or like if we have an away game, I'll work on my schoolwork on the bus, or like if our JV team is playing before us, I'll work on my work before like during that game. So I
Hmm.
usually just I pick certain windows for my schoolwork, and then practice is obviously just practice. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's a lot on your plate because in terms of the practices, the games, I mean, the travel, there's so much, and then you have to hit the books. But the fact that you've been able to again manage that, again, just amazingly, I just it's a lot of credit, kudos to you. Hey, I talked about support. I know that you have your mom, your stepdad, your stepsister, and brother. What have they meant to you along this journey here, both in softball, I mean, academics, athletics, here?
They mean a lot to me. They all try to help me out, like, whenever they can. Like, my mom's always on me about schoolwork, making sure it's done, making sure, like, I'm not falling behind. And my tries to do everything he can to help me with, like, when I was trying to get recruited, he was always on top of it. And my
Hmm.
brother is, like, will, like, play catch with me or feed me on the tee. Like, he'll
Yeah,
always do to help me. So
that's
it's
beautiful. Yeah, yeah, that's great to hear. Uh, Hey, I wanted to ask you about the game of softball. You've been playing for a while here. What is it about the game? As athletes, this just some of the intangibles that stand out. Whether it's a game, it's a practice, or you're traveling. In the summer. What is it about the sport per se that really makes it just again so unique, and that the fact that you have that drive, you have that passion for it here, Hallie.
Yeah, I think it's the competitiveness along with, like, the fact that not everyone can just jump in and start playing. Like,
Hmm.
you need mentality, you need the approach, like, it's a mental sport for sure, and not everyone can do that. Like, not
Yeah,
everyone can do it like that. So I
yeah.
think that's for me.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, with all the pressure, all the stress of playing athletics, because it is so competitive, and the fact that you want to be the best, but you need to kick back and relax. I know some of your hobbies are listening to music and hanging out with your friends. What are those moments like for you, Hallie? The fact that you just can clear your head, relax, and just
It's just
just yeah.
it's like a lot of pressure off my back when I can just, like, hang out with my friends, not worry about anything,
Hmm.
like, not stressful for me at all. It's
Yeah,
good time that,
that's
like,
good.
keep me going.
That's great. Hey, one topic I did not want to skip out, and I think is again so critical is the leadership of coaches. And I want to ask you both, basic high school, what has that meant to you, and also Little Rebels, Gordy slash TC18U. What are the coaching staff meant to you, just in terms of helping you, said succeed on the field?
I think it's really important to have supportive coaches because without them, you're just like dragging yourself down because they
Hmm.
you believe in you. So, on my club team, my coach is like he helps me a lot. He's like always making sure like I'm doing what I need to be doing. He helped me get recruited, like helps me with everything. And for
Hmm.
high school, our coach is newer, so
Okay.
I help him out a lot, not a lot, but a little bit. And
Yeah.
but he's super supportive and, like, will listen, he's, like, always asking, making sure everyone's good with what he has going on, so I think it's really important for coaches to be like that.
That's great. That's terrific to hear. Hey, I let's talk about social media. I know you've been a big proponent of that. You've been able to tap into that, especially on Twitter slash X, uh, dropping your highlight videos so you can spread the word on, as said, your accomplishments on the softball field. Just what has that meant to you? I mean, I'm sure that that's helped you out immensely here, just in terms of getting your name out there and just promoting the game as well. Just talk about that, Hallie.
I think it's really important to, like, make sure, like, if you're doing good, like, you can let people know, like, it doesn't have to be a secret, so I think it's good to
Hmm.
post your to post your successes, and it's like it definitely got my name out there when we started posting all my highlights, and it started, like, getting attention from college coaches, and I
Hmm.
think it's a good tool for everyone to have, like, anyone can access the internet, anyone could post their stuff, like, I think it's really important for people to, like, to know that they
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah. I agree 100% with you. And you know, I wanted to piggyback to, what you said about high school and, just between the boys and the girls athletics. And I think, it's important, like, and I'm so glad I have, like, a platform to, interview, especially softball athletes. And one topic is really a passion of mine that I really try to harp on is women in sports. And I think, and you've seen softball grow so much,
Yeah,
whether it's at the high school level, college, professionally, the Olympics as well. To be in that era, in that movement here, to, with the game, and the fact that now the game can be live streamed, it's on television, so the opportunities, do exist, and the fact that you can move up that ladder. What does that mean to you? Because I'm sure, like, as said, it's something that we've seen that has become a hot button topic, and that for women in sports equality. Just talk about that, Hallie.
I think it's, like it's really cool to be a part of it because, like, everyone, like, tries to downgrade softball, like, "Oh, baseball's harder," like,
Hmm.
this always that, but I feel like softball's
Yeah,
grown it finally got, like, some respect, and
yeah,
it's, like, a part of that community because, like, it's a really good community because everyone supports everyone, it's no type of like, there's no kind of beef with it, like,
yeah.
it's
No,
just all, like, supportiveness.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I can see that. I mean, how much, it really, they talk about the brotherhood, and, so like football and some of these other sports, but the sisterhood, and just in terms of, these relationships carry for so long, and, like, on and off the field, and that's the true beauty of it, is that to see those connections last, as I said, for a long time to come. Hey, I know you're in a great spot. And the fact that, again, you've been playing athletics for so long, and you were a kid once trying to figure out and navigate, what sport am I good at? What am I going to play? And how am I, is it going to move up that ladder? I'm sure you see a lot of kids at these games, and they're trying, probably look up to you and to a lot of your teammates. Just wondering, we're living in such a competitive world, and what would you say to those kids that they, might watch this interview and they're trying to, say, hey, you know what, I'm trying to figure out what sport, I said I can succeed in, and then eventually maybe, be in your shoes one day as well.
I would say just to try it all because I played a lot of sports growing up, and it's like
Hmm.
you can be good at multiple, you can be bad at some, but if you don't try it, like, you'll never know. So I would say just try all the sports you can, and, like,
Hmm.
don't get not good right away because obviously you need to practice and get but I think it's just really important to keep going. Like, you
Hmm.
can't go to practice and only work at practice, like, you have to work off the field too by yourself.
Hmm.
I think it's just important to keep practicing and to try multiple sports.
Yeah, I think that's sound advice. I think, just in terms of having that perseverance, and just not giving up, and just, again, giving it your best. I mean, that's all you can do, and then, see where it ends up. And, as I said, as far as the results, hey, Hallie, I wanted to give you the final word and message here, which is well deserved, for family, friends, teammates, and coaches. Basic high school varsity softball team, Little Rebels, Gordy TC/18U, and the student body, administration, athletic at Basic High School, and the community in Henderson. I said, Nevada. I'm sure there are a lot of people that you want to thank here, Hallie. The floor is
Yeah.
yours.
I just start with, like, my family for
Hmm.
start it wouldn't be anywhere without them, and then all of my coaches from all my sports, teammates, friends, and, like, I don't I would say, like, side coaches, like, people I've had, like, hitting lessons with, fielding lessons with, like, all of those
Hmm.
people, and just, like, family, friends for, like, always supporting me and, like, congratulating me for all my success.
Well said. Hey, Ali, just an incredible honor and privilege being able to speak with you again. Congratulations on your success, especially on the softball team. And I know there's more to come. You're not finished here. I said still another, season left. And again, uh, wishing you all the best in 2024, and can't wait to see what you do at the next level in college.
Thank you.
Thank you.